Hello, we are from SGDB1, and today we're gonna present our student project, and we talk about ARIS system and comma. So here's our member. Okay, let's talk about the background. One of the causes of neurological disability in adults is traumatic brain injury. Traumatic brain injury may be followed by common and serious problem, and one of them is impaired consciousness. The ascending reticular arousal system, or ARAS, is acknowledged as a main neural structure for consciousness. And as you can see, here's our research question. Here's our purposes. And here's our benefit for research. The benefit of this paper is to improve our knowledge and deepen our understanding about ARAS and comma. More importantly, it can also be used by next researchers to supporting theory in order to solve the problems related to ARAS and comma.
Definition of ARAS. The ARAS, or the Ascending Reticular Activation System, is a part of the reticular formation in the vertebrate's brainstems that connects the brainstem to the cerebral cortex. It is responsible for consciousness or wakefulness and helps with attention, modulation of muscle tone, and arousal. It also helps regulate certain autonomic functions, such as breathing, blood pressure, and heart rate. It is supported by several neurotransmitters. The most common ones are the monoaminergic ones, such as dopamine and serotonin, and the cholinergic neurons, such as acetylcholine. It is found in the 1950s by Magun, Maruzzi, and French.
My name is Aizar Vesta Prasetyo with student number 144, and I'm going to explain the structure and function of neuroanatomy of ARAS. So the reticular activating system composed by reticular formation, which is mostly located in the anterior segment of the brainstem. The main component in ARAS from the brainstem and hypothalamus are locus coeruleus, Ralph nuclei, posterior tuberomammillary hypothalamus, and pedunculopontine tegmentum. The locus coeruleus release norepinephrine and responsible for controlling waking and in arousal. The Ralph nuclei release serotonin and play its role in feeling pain sensation, arousal, and even circadian rhythm. The tuberomammillary nucleus is the primary source of histamine and is important in wakefulness and cognition. And the last, the pedunculopontine tegmentum consists of cholinergic neurons, allows to switch from slow sleep rhythms to high-frequency wake rhythms. The reticular formation in medulla oblongata mainly takes responsibility in cardiac rhythms and the center of the respiratory system, and in pons is control for respiration. The reticular formation in the midbrain mainly has its control in the reflex system that maintain the eyeball and head movement, and thalamus takes responsibility in receiving impulse from the reticular formation of the brainstem for attention, then send it to the neocortex.
Hello everyone, my name is Nian Liandari and my last 3-digit number is 131, and now I'm going to present about the blood supply of the neuroanatomy of ARAS. So the structure of the ARAS mainly goes from the brainstem through the hypothalamus and the cortex of the brain. The brainstem itself is mainly supplied by the branches of the basilar artery, meanwhile the caudal medulla receives blood supply from the anterior spinal artery medially and the posterior spinal artery laterally, while the pons receives its blood supply from the branches of the basilar artery and laterally from the branches of the anterior inferior cerebellar artery, while the midbrain mainly receives its blood supply from the branches of the posterior cerebellar artery. The hypothalamus vascular perfusion mainly receives from the branches of the circle of Willis. Thank you.
My name is Timan Putasari, student number 125. I will explain about the neurophysiology of the ARIS system. There are two branches of pathway in the ARIS system, the dorsal and the ventral pathways. Although the neurophysiology remains unclear, the centers of consciousness are localized at all levels of the brain axis, from the medulla to the prefrontal cortex. This complex system releases neuromediators such as glutamate, acetylcholine, cerebral amines, and GABA. along with neuropeptides such as orexin or hypocretin, galanin, and others in a coordinated and systematic way to achieve cortical arousal. The activity of all other wake centers may be the results of cortical activation.
My name is Inyoman Wigraha Yoga with name 109. I will explain about the definition of coma. Coma is condition which the patient cannot be awakened and does not respond to stimuli. This can occur after an acute brain injury. Brain injury in question can be caused by head injury or stroke. Tumor and encephalitis may cause focal infarction or obstructive hydrocephalus. This can cause loss of consciousness which may lead to coma. Coma may also caused by abnormality in metabolism. It can also caused by alcohol poisoning or abnormality in glucose level. When patient is awakened, they may experience impaired consciousness. Patient can experience a vegetative state which the person is awake but not aware of the surrounding, or experiencing a minimally conscious state, which is a condition which the patient has limited awareness and may respond with small movement like blinking and finger twists. The level of consciousness of patient in coma is highly dependent on the severity, cause of brain injury, part of the brain that's still functioning, patient age, and duration of coma. Glasgow Coma Scale and CT scan is very important for triage, determining the pathological condition and planning follow-up for intervention of hemorrhage, herniation, and infarction.
Okay, thank you for the chance that given to me. My name is Rafael Kurnia Pratama Tokan with the last three-digit number of my student registration number is 055. So I will explain about the pathophysiology of coma. Okay, based on the pathophysiology, coma could divided into two types. The first one is structural neuronal dysfunction, and the second one is diffuse neuronal dysfunction. Okay, the structural neuronal dysfunction is a coma that results from the impairment on the Aras thalamic cortical pathway, which is responsible for our awaken and awareness system. Okay, for the example is a compression on the Aras system due to herniation. Okay, and the second type of coma is diffuse neuronal dysfunction coma, which is a coma that results from the impairment on the cellular level. This type of coma is divided into two types. The first one is toxic-induced coma, which is a coma that results from exogenous substance, and the second one is metabolic coma, which is a coma that results from endogenous reactions such as hypoglycemia. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Risma Dania, number 105. So we'll explain about signs and symptoms and also the diagnosis of coma. Several signs and symptoms will appear in patients such as closed eyes, depressed brainstem reflex, pupil not responding to light, no responses of limbs, also irregular breathing. And we can confirm the diagnosis if we have done physical examination such as vital signs, skin turgor and skin color, skull fracture, head injury, conjunctiva or mucosa, response to painful stimuli, checking the skin for signs or bruises due to trauma, and laboratory check such as CBC, electrolytes, glucose, thyroid, kidney, liver function, and lumbar puncture. And the last is neurologic examination such as Glasgow Coma Scale. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Putri Indria and my last number is 200, and I'm going to talk about the management of coma. The first is safe airway. If there is a secret in the pharynx, then suctioning must be done. If this does not work, then the endotracheal tube or tracheostomy must be considered. Second is food and fluid control. Fluids and nutrients are given to the patients via an intravenous route. Third is maintain hygiene, including the body's hygiene, oral hygiene, and eye hygiene. And last but not least is maintaining good bowel and urinary tract and to prevent secondary infection. This must be done by making sure that the patients have good bowel health by defecating at least once every 2 or 3 times a day. If the patient has a urinary tract infection or retention, a catheter must be inserted, and the insertion of a sterile catheter needs to be done to prevent infection. And emptying should be done 3 times a day. That's all I can say about the management of coma. Thank you.
My name is Christopher Rangasa, number 172. I will explain about the relationship between ascending reticular activating system and coma. The ascending reticular activating system is a network of neurons that originate from the upper pons and midbrain tegmentum. The ascending reticular activating system is integral to inducing and maintaining awareness. This neuron projects structure in the diencephalon, including the thalamus, hypothalamus to cerebral cortex. Impaired consciousness can be caused by ascending reticular activating system dysfunction. This condition is caused by presence of supratentorial lesions, infratentorial lesions, and metabolic disorder. Thank you.
In supratentorial structural lesion, the presence of a mass in the cranium, along with surrounding edema such as brain tumors, abscess, and hematomes result in pushing and shifting of surrounding structures. Whereas in infratentorial lesion, there are two processes that cause coma: the process within the brainstem itself that damage the ARAS and its vascularity, and the process outside the brainstem that suppresses the ARAS. Metabolic coma is caused by impaired oxygen or substrate delivery, which in turn alters brain metabolism or interferes with nerve excitability and synaptic function.
Hello, my name is Timothy Alconia with last 3 digits of student number 006. So in conclusion, the ARAS is a part of reticular formation that is located in our brain stems, which play important roles for our consciousness, attention, arousal, and focus, and also muscle tone modulation. The ARAS structure starts from the brainstem to the cortex, which means that ARAS will receive blood supply from basilar artery, posterior cerebral artery, and anterior cerebral artery. The ARAS also uses neuromediators and neuropeptides such as glutamate, acetylcholines, and orexin to communicate in its pathways. The pathways of ARAS is consisted from ventral and dorsal pathways. The ventral pathway is responsible to relay impulses from posterior and lateral hypothalamus to the cerebral cortex to the basal forebrain, while the dorsal pathways will relay impulses from reticular formation to the cerebral cortex. Coma is a condition when the patient is unconscious and cannot be awakened by any stimuli, including from the sound and pain stimuli. The coma itself can occur due to brain injury, alcohol poisoning, and encephalitis. The coma can be defined and diagnosed by using GCS or Glasgow Coma Scale, which quantify our patient's consciousness by their eye opening, motor response, and verbal response. The physical examination of coma patient usually described by cold conjunctival and corneal reflexes, narrowed pupils, and preserved light response. The ARAS and coma is correlated due to the impairment consciousness that is resulted from a brain injury that will distort the ARAS function itself, so that the patient will be unconscious or called coma. And this can occur due to the supratentorial and infratentorial lesions. Lastly, we can manage our patient with coma by ensuring the patient's airway is safe, fluid and food controls, patient hygiene, ensuring the bowel movement is in a good condition, preventing secondary infection, and lastly, inserting sterile urinary catheter. So, yeah, thank you for listening our presentation, and God bless you.